Yeah, I'm still here. Um, but I went to Denver Wednesday, and I don't know how my audios work because I got the. I don't know if you can hear my music's on my speakers or play. I'll play my music around here, but but I didn't come here to play music anyhow. Wednesday, I went by the Denver Museum, Nature and Science again. I better send. I'll send those pictures over to my computer from my phone. I was gonna make a video and I didn't make a video. I only took some pictures of the wolves. But they changed the sign that was there. What was that? 4 years ago when I met Davio at the Denver Art Museum. I thought he was meeting me where Forrest said at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. No, well, Forrest didn't say it. Doug Preston said it in the beginning of Once Upon a While. He said it. It's where Forrest parks his car at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Well, he parks in the handicap. And where he parks in the handicap are the bronze wolves with the signs that say caution wolf sculptures. Maybe hot. I just spent like an hour picking fur off of this shirt and sticking it to my extended long plastic shoehorn that they gave me when I got my hip surgery. Because when I let go of the fur, like a couple inches from the shoehorn just grabs it, like my shirt grabs it. This shirt is like a fur magnet. It's a pain in the butt. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna send these pictures to my messenger. Now get them on the computer, and then I'll show them. What is that? Oh, that's a CT scan. That's in. Oh, I already just sent that. It's in. Okay. So anyhow, I didn't just take pictures there at the museum. I went. I tried to get a hold of the curator, George Sparks, and well, he's in a meeting. He's in a 10 o'clock meeting, and he gets. Should be and then he has a 12 o'clock meeting, and he's got meetings all day. You know, you can leave him a note. So I left him a note, and he called the next day. He called yesterday. I got a phone call from the curator of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science that'll let him know about the Forrest Fenn books, about the Once Upon a While, where Doug says the final clue is where I parked my car at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And in the final chapter of the book of the original Once Upon a While, for ignorant people that only have the second edition and don't realize that Dizzy Dean wasn't in the first edition, it ended with The Price of Freedom, which is the bronze, about a bronze wolf, the guy up in Montana sculpted. Well, here where he parks his car at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science are bronze wolves. And they have the sign in front of them that says they're hot. Caution, wolf sculptures may be hot. Well, they certainly weren't hot when I was there on Wednesday because it's winter and the sun is on the buildings blocking the sun from hitting them. But in the summer, the sun hits them really good and heats them up. Why is that significant? Under a canopy of stars. Now, if it was under a tree, it wouldn't have been under a canopy of stars. Duh, duh. It would have been under a canopy of trees. And what is this here? It's your canopy. It's the top of your head. Old car with no top. An old car with no canopy. And and the other thing was where the car was found was out in the middle of the meadow, of the D meadow, out in the blazing sun. I get some chat going too here while I'm. Hey, Ollie, INFJ. Hey, restream. Oh, that's a bot message. Never miss a comment. Click on the hip is getting better. I still got 2 more weeks of bone healing, and it's really worse. The worst it is when you've been sitting down or laying down and you first stand up, and you probably got to walk 30, 40 feet before you can get going. But I'm waiting for the VA to send me a cane that was ordered a week and a half ago. That the physical therapist said you can go to a cane instead of the walker now. Well, okay. So again, I said, well, the VA needs that information from you or my doc. The VA is not going to order the cane unless they have instructions to. They're not going to listen to me if I tell them. They don't listen to the patient. That's the main problem with the VA. That's the main problem. It has to be them. Hey, Tigger. I don't know, with 2 G's. Isn't Tiger just 1 G? So you're Tigger? Where's Pooh? Pooh's not here. Pooh Street. 'That's my vaporizing hookah. It's a hookah vape hookah. If I leave it plugged in, I don't have to turn it on each time I want to use it. I can just push the trigger and go. So that's why the cord's on it. Works a lot better. It doesn't go dead and need a charge then. But you want to know what I discussed with the curator of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, don't you? I got to get these pictures onto my computer so I can go through them with you. Let me see. Bump. I want to get that one first. My brother sent me a picture of me and him when we were. I was maybe 2 or 3, and he's maybe 1 at the most. I was at least 2.5 or 3 in the picture, but I'll get to it here. Save image as. $1960, I'd say. And I put that. I put I put a title on the picture, so I don't have to go rename it. I hate when they here's the file name we've assigned it. It's like I'll never find it. I'll never remember the picture by that file name, but I will remember it. It's Bill and Bruce. you know? So yeah, that's some people don't know how to manage their files on their computer. That's how you do it. And then you put it in your photo folder. Maybe I have a folder in my photos, a subfolder, Bill, family, all that stuff. So that's how that if you don't know how to file, then you don't belong on a computer. You don't know basic filing skills. Oh, I'm in there. Save. There. No. Save. There. Okay. There we go. Da-da-da-da. Save images. And I gotta put that in my Fenn folder under base images, which are just my photos that where I save them, and then if I make a meme out of it, it's under cartoons. I I call them cartoons or memes. Memes are cartoons, you know. So you know, maybe a Gary Larson cartoon is called a meme. You know, why? You know, it's the same basic thing. Um, do 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 do. I made this joke so if you can hear the song is playing, it's a guy I've known since I was like 12 years old in Boy Scouts. He plays piano. He plays the piano in a bar and sings and stuff. So I made a song about him singing about himself and what he does. Museum science. Uh, Oh no, I'm gonna save it in a different folder. Where's it? Where's it? Where is it? Oh, oh no. Yeah, I did save it right. That one should come up. And oh, it should. Once it freshes, then it'll. Oh, save it under the same file name. But I had so many pictures in this folder that it's like it won't sort them until it's loaded all of them into the memory, kind of. So it won't sort them by date or name or whatever. You know, I don't know what it might be sorted by date right now, but it's no, it's not because those aren't the first pictures in the folder. But let's see. That's the way to do it. To just start typing the name of the file. Save images. Yeah, this is another song. This is a different version of the same thing about my friend is playing. It's funny. Plays piano at a farmer's market, I guess, in Livermore or something. I don't know. California, maybe Fremont. I don't know. Or number four. I think I got about 6 pictures. Oh, no, there's 4. AM 5. 5. Yeah, I got some songs about Fenn I ain't published, you know. This one, they told them that was bullshit. The whole ending, Jack Stoof is a fake. He's just a writer. Jack Stoof is as fake as Dan Barbarisi. Oh, you're that. I tried to save it with the same file name as the other one, and it didn't like that. Seven. I guess I got 8 pictures at least because I'm saving the 8th one. 8. Yep, that's the last one. Yep. Okay. So now I can go back in here. Oh, I get it open on my. This one will refresh faster. I have to break this folder up into smaller folders so it reads it faster. And I got one puppy left. One puppy left. Tippy. There we go. And now I go to here. And we get back to my stream here. Now I can see what you're saying. Yep, it's just Tiger. Tigger was the last one to comment then, huh? So I'm going to screen share my pictures. Window. This one. Share. This is the new sign in front of me. See right that window right there? That window behind the wolf, that's the museum security office and executive offices. And what you see more legs than you should and a second tail because there's two wolves in the picture. One is behind the other one. You see there's one who's coming down, landing on its front paws and its tail sticking up in the air, and the one on this side of the camera is just running, launching from its rear feet. One's launching from its rear feet, and the other's landing on its front feet. Oh, that's pretty interesting, doing it that way. So, and then I got a front view of them. Oh, no, that's Eric Sloan. No, so go this way on them. And here's the pack of wolves chasing the rabbit. Well, this one over here's got something to eat. This one in the back, he's got something to eat. See, he's got some kill there or something. So I don't know why the other ones are running and not going. This one should have maybe the one with whatever he's eating, and these others are coming for the food. Yeah, I because I've never seen dogs run past food like that. It's just a little bit of an aesthetic air. But these are the bronze wolves. Caution, wolf sculptures may be hot. See? Caution, wolf sculptures may be hot. Atención, los escritores, vida está caliente. Okay? So there we go. And why? What does this? Remember the Fenn finale, and who was it that read? It was they read Forrest Fenn's statement about Koski going up and down the road stirring up dust, and Koski is only not that hand. I put Koski is only a code name for K-Pro, who was having a party there and stirring up dust, which is, gaslighting, things like that, calling people losers who aren't losers, and all that stuff, you know. So caution, wolf sculptures may be hot. There's front on view of the wolves coming at you toward the entrance of the museum. There's a little lower, same. See, it's just a different angle. We're looking down on them, and here we're looking straight at them. There's the wolves running at you. No place for the meek. If you seen wolves coming at you like that, you're meek. There's another. I think this is because this is only one wolf, so this is the second one back. And you see over here, these cars along here. That's I don't know if the handicap goes all that way down that, but the spaces closest to the door of the museum along here are handicapped. And Forrest is a disabled vet, or he's a disabled veteran, uh, Purple Heart. So he was wounded in war, so he's disabled. So if you're not the lead dog, there's the one with the dead rabbit or whatever he's got there. I gave the I put a call into the. That's just another view of the same sculpture, and there's the. Does ah? I wonder if that's a three-legged wolf or his legs just underneath him. I think because the dogs run their front legs when they're launched, they go between their back, but usually the front legs are in synchronicity with each other. The front go together and the back go together. They're like a, they're running on two pairs. That's a cool looking wolf, though. And these were carved by Rick Sargent. Uh, that's one thing I didn't see. Didn't see the sign that said, but the sign that says they're carved by Rick Sargent is probably underneath this massive on that rock. That I think it might be where that sign is that describes what it is and who donated it. Donated, they were donated by Valerie Gates, who did the artwork for my CD repair kit that I've shown you before. Um, oh, I'm glad I took two pictures. See all the light reflecting there, and I didn't get that light here, except over in the corner of the picture. See, so the sun, it was a cloudy day. It was cloudy all up and down the front range, going up there and back. And then when I got back to the valley here, it was sunny. Um, whoa, what happened there? There's a picture in the summer or the fall. It's the fall. You can tell by the trees. What the hell? Eric Sloan. Eric Sloan in the clouds. Looks like a big bear, this top cloud. He probably knew what was going on. There's wolves. Okay, so stop sharing. Go back to. I gotta get back to my screen with the. Yeah. Well, that's where he parks, right? But remember, I told you I went to the museum and I asked to speak to the director, and he called me yesterday. I talked to George Sparks, and if I had my yearbook out, I'd show you in swim team picture. There's a picture of me and George Sparks. It's a different George Sparks, but that Valerie Gates, who donated those wolves, I had hired in 1995 to do some art, and she's part of the Gates family. I didn't realize that then until now that she's part of the Gates family. Uh, uh, I didn't know my artist was a millionaire. Gates Tire and Rubber Company. They make tires. If you look at the belts in your car, they might be Gates. Your serpentine belt, it might be Gates. You might have a Gates Optima battery. That Gates. It's not Bill Gates. It's not the Bill Gates Foundation. It's the Gates Family Foundation. They're two totally separate, independent, unrelated groups. They could be relatives somewhere in the past. Usually they are. Um, I um, I just got a notification from Family Search that one of my relatives is a Carter, which is and my family's Carters were in Kentucky, which means they're all my cousins. I got a spot on my glasses I can't see through. Um, but I told the director of the director curator, you know, he's the head guy at the museum. Get all the spots off these lenses. I was being friendly with the dogs, and I had another pair of glasses on my head at the time. And she went and bashed her head and broke the earpiece right off. At least they're only $40 glasses that I have here. Is that my other pair? No. I have another new pair, but these are readers that I use if I'm using the computer. And I had to get a new phone case because it's a phone case and I got a magnet thing here, and it's a wallet. So I don't have to think about, do I have my wallet? Do I have my phone? I got my wallet and my phone all in one. And really, what I need, what would be really cool with the newer cars and stuff, is if you didn't have the key fob, if your phone was all you needed, and then you'd have your phone, your key. You couldn't leave your keys anywhere. You couldn't leave your phone anywhere. You can't get in your car and start it without going back in the store and picking up your wallet that you left at the counter, or without picking up your phone that you left at the counter. All three go together. They all confirm each other. But I told uh, George Sparks about the Forrest Fenn's book, Once Upon a While, and Douglas Preston, a number one New York Times bestseller author, uh, saying that the final clue was where he parks his car at the Denver Museum. And since he's a Purple Heart veteran, he's disabled, and he parks in the handicap, you know. And I told him, the wolves are at the end of the book. The last chapter is the price of freedom. The wolves in front of the museum are when wolves run, or where when legends run free. Okay, uh, so here's the metal. The metal. You needed the metal to take you to the treasure. And I just had this weird thought. Here he's referring to the final clue is these bronze statues. I give you title to the gold. Is he just telling you that when you die, we'll put a gold monument on your grave? you know, that's bull. It's like, man, there's supposed to be a reward at the end of this chase. And so far, there's been total deceit, and just causing more anger and angst and stuff. And I've said, if they had if they're afraid to tell me because other people will find out, and I'll be harassed by all these people that weren't so lucky, then uh, there's no reason. If they told me, hey, I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to move to, what part of the world, I'll just take the money and run. I won't say another thing. But until there's the reward for that, or really there should be a reward for the real answers. So I explained these real answers to the curator of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and he was like, and because he was not aware of Forrest Fenn's book, of his treasure hunt or anything, and so here is an unbiased person, right, who's never heard of it, and and the story is very convincing because he does not did not have any bias. That's a problem with the searchers. I've come to this conclusion, and so you can't be right. Everything you say has to be wrong. I'm not even going to listen to what you say. That is total ignorance and bias. If you're not going to listen to somebody, that is the definition of ignorant. Well, I wish my whole mustache was that color gray instead of just the middle part. It's like I'm getting color back in my mustache over here, over here. Yeah, what the hell, man? It was gray. And it feels like it got more fuzz on top of that spot up there. But, I tried to explain, and there's a lot I couldn't tell him because he was on the phone. He had people in his office waiting to talk, people he work for him to tell him something. I should have told him, why don't you give me a call when you're at home or something and you have more time to talk, you know? But I did tell him if he that I would gladly be interviewed by somebody who wants to do a story on it for the museum. So that might get somewhere. That might be the only thing that gets anywhere. I might try getting a hold of the paper, but you know what? Trying to give the newspaper information or something about something they're unaware of is futile. One thing, the security guard won't be in the parking lot to go to the lobby to leave a message for anybody even, you know? They totally isolate themselves because they know everything. They're the ones that give you the information of what's going on. So you couldn't know what they know already. So there's nothing we're going to learn from them. We know everything. The ignorant, uh, they call them legacy news, right? Legacy. Yeah, they have a legacy of they used to be honest about things, most things we think, you know. But all he says we didn't go to the moon. I say we went to the moon. My brother thinks the earth is flat. So I call him while the sun's still up here. And I tell him, is it dark there? He says, yeah. Well, I said, well, the sun's up here, so the earth can't be flat. uh, that defeat that freaking flat earth BS right there. No, look at me. I was doing a live stream one morning. It was morning here in America. I was in Greece, and it was evening. The sun's going down, and so I was having a sunset. And you're watching my live stream, and it ain't even noon here. So yeah, that flat Earth stuff. Um, and Galileo, he even makes sense. Uh, I played. I got my Galileo video online. His thoughts of the Roman Catholic Church. You know, and pretty cool. Got a bunch of resin gathering in the end of my toker, and this is just a part of a fountain pen. It's a clicker pen. I just took it apart, and that's my mouthpiece. But I have a plan to modify this and get rid of this surgical tubing hose, and I want to put a plastic connector on there, which I had one sitting here. I thought. um, Let me go through the book a little bit. My book almost totally destroyed. You know, look at this. You see, it's coming apart. That's my original book that Forrest signed to Bill. But even destroyed, I ended up being the true solver, and this book would be worth $1,000, but it'd probably be in the museum with the other stuff about the hunt. And people that the car, what about the car? The car, there it is. The car in the beginning of the book, in the cover. Where'd it go? There's the car, right there. The bullet. Okay, it's one of the first things in the thrill of the chase is the bullet. And hey, you can't smoke that. My thing fell on the floor. The puppy, who's this? You clean the end of it. She was gonna get high off it, right? I had to clean this end. Get that goo out of the end. Gosh, dang, it's hard to get out of there. With a knife, it is. There. That's nasty. It looks like a. See, it's clean now in the end, but looks like it just pulled a booger out of there. A little ball of resin. I don't know what I was talking about, but I just found out about if you got Windows 11. I watched a video. It was called um, "Do This to Stop Microsoft Spyware: How to Disable." Um, there's a new thing in Windows 11. If your computer, like mine, has the AI chip in it, that your computer, I don't know, once a minute or once every, I don't know how often, takes a screenshot of you automatically. It's part of Windows 11. It's supposedly to remind you of what you were doing. It's not to remind me of what I'm doing. It's to inform them of what I'm doing, you know. But you got to go in there, and he tells you the things to do to open up and disable that application on the computer. I don't need a screenshot every minute of what I'm doing. That's just ludicrous and rude of them to assume that they can do that to you. And when you start it, when you install the software, oh, do you agree? Yeah, I agree. There, you just gave them permission to do that shit. You know? Who else is what? What do we got going? Let's see. It should tell me how many it has before. Oh, there, six. Six watching. Wow. And sometimes people go, "Oh, Bill, go live, go live." It's like, I'm going to a doctor appointment, man, or I'm going to physical I I have 4 appointments this week, you know, and I had deliveries, and, you know, all that shit. But another thing I've done recently, well, you know, because I was going to physical therapy. The the VA van would come and pick me up, take me to physical therapy. But the last, let's see, it was last Thursday, a week ago, when he came to get me. Jill decides, oh, I'm not going to stand back here by the RV and let you drive off. And she decides she's going to come out and run in front of his car and all this, you know, because she wants to go too and all this. And so I come up with this idea. If I had little actuator, and with a remote control or a timer with a little battery to run the actuator, I could clip the actuator onto her leash, and then I could put the actuator rod through her collar hookup and set to release her in 1 minute or something, so that we can leave with the car and she's restrained from chasing us, but the thing would automatically release her in a minute, you know. Or but what I ended up finding, what I didn't get a timer for it. I might get a timer anyhow. That way I can do either or. And I I got a little box that has a remote control to control it. So that it has an up down button to push the little rod go or you know how that goes. But it'd be around the ring on her collar that holds her. And so this would be I thought, well, man, this works good. Then I can make these and sell them probably for $50, you know. But there's somebody, I don't have access to the lowest prices of the parts, and you put it all to put it all in one thing. You wouldn't need those parts specific. You would need some of the internal parts, and you could do with fewer parts. You wouldn't need it mounted on a little metal plate. I need a metal plate because I got to have that rod not only goes through her collar, but it's going to have to go through two holes, so her collar connects between the two holes the rod goes through, and so it actually holds her. But um, yeah, look at my. This is what I've been, but I've cleaned it off a few times. See here, see the fur stuck to it. That plastic. My shirt, it clinged to my shirt. I was peeling it off, and you just stick it onto the plastic. That's how I kept it, because I pulled a piece off and I dropped it like at arm's length out, and it whew, sucked right back onto my shirt. Where did that one go? It went and sucked onto something else or on the back side. I don't know. The big one just went somewhere. Some, but what else does that tell me? That's how the planets in the sun are connected electromagnetically. Oh, static. Static electricity is what keeps the universe together. It's all static. And we're all it goes through everything's interconnected. And right there you see an invisible force of that, those things not touching, and you drop the fur and it whew, goes over to the plastic that's charged, you know. And that's not a battery, that's plastic. Yeah. So hey, what do we got? We got electromagnetic charge that acts as gravity. It's pulling it in together. So the static is what pulls the material to the center of the earth. Everything clinging to electromagnetically, not necessarily uh, ferromagnetically. That's why they're ferrites. They're ferrous. They can hold a magnetic charge. Electromagnetic is the Earth's magnetic field. Is electromagnetic. It's the invisible force. The invisible force that engulfs all of us. We are all inside the electromagnetic field of the Earth. We are all electromagnetically interconnected. Even on the other side of the Earth, like my signals are right now going over the internet and coming to you. You know, it's just a miracle that you can see me even. And a lot of people don't realize how much of a miracle it is that they're even alive. If not for the supernatural powers of the cosmic universe. The super being, the universe. It's not a man on a cloud, and it doesn't make decisions like this and that. It's all general and relative, as Einstein would put it. It's relative that this has a positive, this has a negative, and they attract. These two are both positive. They don't attract. They push away from each other. Um, and so if you got two galaxies, one with the positive up this way and the other one the positive down that way, and these galaxies come close together, they might push apart. You know, it's all electromagnetic. I they have to be magnetically attracted to collide. They have to be in synchronicity, and that's what all of the cells in your body are in synchronicity. They're not in chaos. You're not just mush. You're a walking, thinking being. And I see my steam going over there. It means that I can make a cup of coffee. See how the cloud cleared up in there once it turned off and the cloud cleared in there. I, and no, I'm not smoking pot. I'm vaporizing it. And I'm not even vapor. I'm not even smoking. No, I'm not even vaporizing pot. I'm vaporizing THC because they removed it from the other 75% of the pot plant, which is wasted trash. If you're smoking joints from the leaf, you're smoking the trash of the plant with the good stuff. Yeah, it's not so good. Oh, yeah, I was driving to the VA Wednesday up in Denver. Before I got to Pueblo, Tippy barfed on my leg. And it's like, great. Now I got to stop at Walmart and buy some other pants. So I got these sweatpants that have the fleece lining inside. They were like $20. Um, you can get them on Temu for $10. I just made another Temu order, some more stuff. I don't like. They're getting a little better at their shipping because they realize, hey, this costs us money when people don't ship, and because if it doesn't show up when they say it'll show up, they give you a $5 credit. See, I pick the fur off, and I just go, pip, stick it on that shoehorn. That plastic shoehorn attracts that fur. And the other thing, when you got the clump of fur on that shoehorn and you pass your hand near it, the fur moves because of your charge interfering with the charge of that stick and the fur on it. That's just bizarre stuff. The electromagnet. Um, what do I got there? Oh, I got my volcano going here again. And actually, I can walk. I go short distances without a walker, without a cane. I walk around inside here without them. I got the walkers in the car, so I can get to the car, without need. But and I even walked that because I bought a cane yesterday, uh, and I brought it to physical therapy, and the therapist says that's a right-handed cane. You need a left-handed cane. I said, what do you mean? Well, it had the four little feet on the at the bottom of the post, and the legs to the inside toward you are just straight forward, forward and back of each other. The ones away from you are spread out and further, you know. Uh, and so I told Walmart, all you have is right-handed canes. You don't have any left-handed canes. The physical therapist let me know that. And so I got my money back. And they said, well, maybe they got one at Walgreens. And I went to Walgreens. No, they have the same. They're the same. They need an R or an L on there. The therapist didn't like me turning the thing around and having the hook around the back. I guess maybe because you'd be leaning on it and you might bend that thing if you fell forward or I don't know, put too much weight on it. But they're supposed to withstand 300 pounds. Um, It's playing my country music about lures or sexy legs. See, like the movie Munich. The guy got with the Dutch girl. I don't know if you've seen the movie Munich. Was it Munich or uh, it was about the guys that the helicopter incident in Munich in '76 and the Israelis going after the people who organized that hostage taking and all that. And so the one guy that was hunting down these terrorists got approached by this really very attractive Dutch woman who got him, at the hotel in the bar at the hotel, and she went up and slept with him in his bed just to shoot him, just to kill him. And so a guy come to visit her in her little houseboat, and he just cold bloodedly shot her for killing his friend. So she got what was coming, you know. So that was just karma got her pretty quickly. He owes. He owes. Why does he owe? Forrest Fenn owes. Yellowstone. Owes. Why is the word owes in the middle of Yellowstone? Did you ever think of that? And then once upon a while, it's totally obvious on the cover, the Stickman, the fishing line goes to the star in the middle of the page. This, the star is the asterisk. This is the important literature. Doug Preston, there are lots of clues in this book. Lots of clues, Doug Preston said. Oh, what did you say, Doug? I said lots of clues, dumbass. And, Bill Gorman said that, so we'll just discount that again, and again, and again, and again, and again, because we don't listen to Bill Gorman due to biased ignorance. To to be biased, the most biased people are also the most ignorant. I look at these, Trump gives a pardon. I want them all released tonight, and there's still people. I don't know if they got them all out yet. Um, if you want them to come back and sign papers, have them do it later. But right now, let them go. You know, you don't have any right to hold these people any longer. And but Biden pardoned the committees, all the people on the committee that put the people in the jail. And, and so they cannot be federally criminally charged with any of that. But here's the big but. But there can be a class action suit against them for $1 trillion. You got 1,500 people that all need to be millionaires for what you did unconstitutionally to them. And I just saw one. They released. It was a kid coming out of the jail with his bag of belongings. He's six. I don't know if he was 16 when they put him in there, or he's 16 when he was. But he was maybe. I think he was 16 when they put him in there, and they let him out. He's probably 20 now. They held him in there for 4 years for trespassing. Oh, they walked calmly through there. There was a dozen people at the most who harmed anybody, and they're still being they're still well. Some of them have served their time. He commuted their sentence because they've done more than enough time for whatever you know whatever they pushed a cop, or like a insignificant assault, or whatever. Didn't hurt anybody. The only cop that died there didn't die. He died from a freaking heart attack. He had a heart attack. He didn't die from anything that people did that went in there. And really the only person that died was Ashley Babbitt, who was shot by a DC police officer. These people all been held in the District of Columbia City Jail, with rats and flooding and contaminated water in the basement and everything. They the people their water they run their water through a sock to get because it was so filthy. But the people that put them in there need to go into that same jail for the same amount of time, minimum. Oh, this should be for the same amount of time. Let's say there were 100 people that did this to these 1,500 people. Well, that's 15 times. So each of them should do 15 times of what those people did. So it'd be a life sentence. Yeah, they had even a juvenile locked up for 4 years. I got my CD for my CD from my CAT scan, but I can't find my CD player for the computer, and it won't work on. I can't open it on the TV, on the DVD. Oh, did I? Hey, yeah. He just showed up in North Carolina. The people there. Oh, somebody finally came. you know. And how much time did Biden have to do it? I hear Obama's getting divorced, Kamala's getting divorced. She blames her husband. No, it was your running mate, you dumb dummy. It's that wokeism, the DEI, and all that got you. It's the price of gas that got you. And it's pretty hard to beat the Messiah in an election too. So all these people that were pardoned can still be sued in a civil court for civil things and have to pay civilly. The president can't pardon a civil case. So, Nancy, you're up the creek. You're gonna have nothing. Uh, They might even confiscate your headstone you've already paid for. I mean, was she 85, 88, 89? She's up there in the end of life. When you're the age Forrest was, when you're 90 years old, there's very little chance you'll make it to 92, you know, or 95 or anything like that, you know. You're even when you're 65 like me, and you're going to Denver to get a CT scan to check the condition of your coronary artery. Um, that's why they had the whole, and I guess the surgical department. The doctor said, "Oh, the surgical department will do this other. They're going to do a genetic test or something." And it's like, well, they should have been able to see what they were supposed to see with this CAT scan. And all she did was, well, you're. She's looking at my ascending aorta. That's the one that goes up to my head. And there's another branch of it that goes down and branches off to your legs. It goes down to your abdomen and your legs to supply all those organs. And your legs are organ. Your skin is an organ. Can you play? Yeah. Oh, the skin flute. Oh, you play the skin flute. Oh, can you play the female organ? uh, I found out my hands are stinging and burning because of my stenosis, my foraminial neck. Like six of them can't channels, and my hands and fingers burn and sting. And but I found I put the capsation stuff on my fingers. I just only put it on the left hand. I didn't do it on the right, so that I could, if I need to touch my eyes, I can touch my eyes with my right hand. You know, and because you don't want to get that capsation in your eyeballs. No, my eyes are. I noticed were pretty fucking clear, even for vaping. I'll vape some more. I'll see if I can make them red. There's the Restream link. Is anybody? I don't see any button flashing. Let me see. Go streaming YouTube. That should show me. And 9 watching. I go in there and boom. And there, I'll pin it. I know if I pin it with Restream, it won't pin. If I pin it with YouTube, it pins. Well, it said it did. Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, I have a subscription to Restream, so I can show my pictures now, and I should have higher quality picture too. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go back to my. I'm looking at YouTube, and I'm trying to find Moses. Moses is standing on my top of my finger. He's got the red robe, and he's got a golden top. My robe of purple and gold. He's Thoth also, and Thoth is also known as Hermes. Did you know that? Thoth and Hermes are supposedly the same guy, and Hermes is the son of Zeus. So, did the Egyptians come out of Greek mythology? What was the Greek mythology part of Egyptian mythology? And mythology is it's all about beliefs, and it can be whatever you believe because that's all things are. It's only what you believe it is. Who do you? It only matters who they think you are. that voice in your head talking to you, that's you talking to yourself. But some people feel that it's from the outside. Well, it is because it's the universe. This brain in here can only transmit and receive and interpret some messages and stuff that come from the universe. It only interprets what you experience, what that body that you're in at the present time experiences. But we live in a multiverse. And so there are lots of different minds running around. A woman was beaten to death on the Capitol steps. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was other people there. And it was probably Antifa did that. It was probably the FBI beat her to death. Yeah. Yeah. But he pardoned them too. He pardoned most of them. As people that killed people, yeah. They're like the people that killed that woman, yeah. They go to they probably weren't even charged with it. They were probably part of the instigator group. Because if it was a Trump supporter that she was, then it had to be an Antifa or a liberal that did it to her. Let me see if I can upload some new Fenn songs here. Play a couple of the new ones here. I uploaded a few of them, but I had some others I hadn't um, put on there yet. Ah, why? Mm. So if my aorta is not growing and I'm coughing like that, then it's not a problem. uh, oh yeah, my coffee, huh? Here, I want to loop a little video while I get a cup of coffee. Uh, where did I save them? There and download. Still, I believe. Uh, what I have here, that. Up, up. There is my. There, that'll work. And we'll switch this over to share screen, window, this one, share. Oh, did it stop? Where is it? Where'd it go? Uh, nope, it wasn't that. It's on the media player. There. And I got to shrink this to. No, it's not there. It should have been there. Where'd it go? There. So that's me in the Lincoln Memorial. And if you've seen Forrest Fenn's, I'm trying to get it to loop. It won't give me. There. Because I want to get a cup of coffee. That's pretty cool, huh? All I had a picture of me standing there in the Lincoln Memorial. And I told the AI, Lincoln stands up and walks up to the camera. Yeah, they did that. That's pretty cool. And you know, Forrest Fenn, he had his just stood up. He had his Lincoln hat next to his desk when they found him there dead or dying. with a bullet in his head, just like Lincoln. That's why he had his Lincoln hat there. Oh, Bill's full of shit again. No, he's not. Bill is dead on right. And if you don't believe that he has his Lincoln hat, he goes, look at the damn pictures. Look at the pictures that were released. It shows his hat there. Yeah, you can watch Lincoln there for a little bit. Making my coffee. Turn that off. So, and the bullet, Lewis and Clark. Well, Lewis ended up with 2 bullets in him. Sitting Bull's peace pipe. Sitting Bull had a bullet in his chest. What was the predecessor of the bullet? The arrow. What was the predecessor of the arrow? The stick. That stick in there. What stories did he have a stick, and what did he do with the stick? He put the stick in the bullet hole in the coffee pot. And when he's flying his plane, ramblings and rumbling, somebody shot a hole through his fuel tank, and the fuel was leaking out, and he reached out the window and put his finger in the hole and plugged the hole to keep the fuel from leaking. But there was probably, if there's somebody on the ground, you probably couldn't have, because the hole would have come up through it from the other side. And so that's a story, but he had to have bullet stories. Almost got my coffee ready. Almost got to turn off Abe Lincoln there. Oh. Yeah, when I was in the hospital, they wouldn't give me my one medication if my blood pressure was less than 110 over something. My blood pressure was too low for that medication. I'll just tell you right there, I don't have any high blood pressure problem. I have a low blood pressure problem. Oh man, that leg. Yeah, I feel the hip the most where that square peg goes down my round femur. Yeah, square peg in a round hole. They take bone marrow out. They scoop it out like ice cream, man. And then they put that rod. I think it's like this long. It's at least half the length of your femur. It goes down into your femur. And just knowing the mechanics of that hurts. Just the thought of that. You don't have to feel it. Being able to feel it just makes it worse. It makes it worse knowing that what it does. But it helps to know that's except that pain. That means there's nothing wrong so far. It's just healing. About 2 more weeks of healing. Double blazes to you. Double blazes to you. I wish you double blazes to you. Oh, yeah. But the Greeks had Hermes. So Hermes came after Thoth then. Huh. That's weird. That's weird. I found a representation of him here in the Rio Grande National Forest. People didn't realize the canyon down had to do only with the name of the canyon. It didn't have to do with any direction. But down was when you get over the hill, you're going into canyon down. uh, you're on your way out. There's some sun coming in. The sun's getting ready to. When the sun's hitting me in the face like that, that's the sun's setting. I gotta go to the store and get some groceries and probably pick up a pizza. Um, you see here, these two chairs are from the third row seat in my out of my Tahoe. But I'm going to take the couch out of here. There's a hide a bed that I don't need. It takes up room. You can't store stuff under the seat, and you know, and to take it outside, maybe uh, get an awning thing, canvas cover or something over it, and I'm going to build a storage box, and I'll set these seats on top of the storage box. And I'm going to put a 2 foot by 4 foot board under the window next to the bed so that it'll be high enough that I can just get my legs underneath the table and have a table right next to the bed, you know. Um, because sometimes I want to sit up in bed. I don't want to lay in bed, and I've done a lot of laying in bed for the last month. Yesterday was the 1 month anniversary of getting my hip. Only been a month. And Scar's feeling good. The therapist said, it looks really good. Scar looks really good. Yeah, he liked my ass. Because the Scar, oh, no, I'm not standing up like that. I tried to stand up normally. Yeah, like I would know. And no, it's standing up is something you do slowly. But yeah, it's right down, right. If I was wearing a Speedo, you'd see it descending into the Speedo and out of it down my back of my leg, It's my right butt cheek got sliced. Phew, 30 staples in there. Greeks, Egypt, Malas. Yeah, they're all just players. Yeah, same with the Clintons. I was surprised that Hillary Clinton was singing along with Carrie Underwood, and Kamala was lip syncing. Kamala was barely trying because she doesn't know the words. She's a communist like her father, just like Obama's father, a communist. And there's new stuff coming out on him, too. Oh, nobody's chatting. I gotta play a little music. Oh, I can, yeah, I can get some more loaded, huh? There's holes in the canvas. the last story in Ramblings and Rumblings was about this artist, a painting Forrest bought that was was full of bullet holes. And the guy used the canvas after it was shot and hid the bullet holes. And you could only see the bullet holes when he held it up to the blaze, the sun. And you could see the bullet holes in the canvas through the paint. I made a little cartoon of him too. He's standing there painting. The artist that did it, I have where he pulls the gun out and shoots the painting. I'll be here. Oh. Behind the scenes. Okay. Running through the pack. Knots and secrets. Chasing shadows. The searcher's view. Ghosts and gold. That sounds like it's a fun one. Forgotten treasure, that's a fun one. So, AI censorship, treasure hunters, yes, blinded. Cats. Super Saber Superman. That's what Forrest was. Yeah, the only thing about Superman was Forrest had been bulletproof. He'd been shot at so many. You know how many bullets have been shot at him? Yeah, I gave away Dracula yesterday. She went and met a woman up on La Vida Pass and gave her Dracula. I really like Dracula too, but since I gave her away yesterday, there's no puppies fighting each other and stuff. She doesn't fight very long with Mama Dog because Mama Dog. Like in Greg's video with the wolf, and the wolf doesn't bite down, but puts her mouth over the other dog's snout. Stop it. It could have crunched down, but they put their mouth over the snout of the and that's what the mother does. They put the mouth over the snout of the puppy. Maybe that's why the pugs goes, no, you can't do that to me. I'm a pug. Hey, where camaraderie crumbles. Gaslighter song.
Gaslighting everything, but preserve some searchers. But notably, the lead dog is often impervious to such shenanigans. They've already weathered worse storms. Yet when the gaslighting escalates, it creates a toxic environment. Where camaraderie crumbles and the pack mentality kicks in, leaving glimmers of rationality.
I need my guitar. It's over here. I found my sticky notes. How you put the answer? How you put the answer on a sticky note? Fishing line to the star. The important literature. The asterisk. Star is the asterisk. You do an asterisk on your computer. What does it? A lot of the font. The asterisk is a star. And where is the asterisk? The first chapter. Oh, I opened up right to it. But I really. I thought yeah, it's a large print, but it's not as big as I remembered. It shrunk. It's not so important no more. But what's the chapter? Important literature. Important literature. Um, and does he? I'm almost say it. This is something must have been happening to me. So I feel right. Doesn't matter much to me if I get old, especially since I'm already there. Actually, the only thing about me that's old is my body. My mind stays about 13. To help my self image, I take showers at night, so I can't see my age as much. When my wife built our house, see, she was the architect because she built the house. She put a skylight in the bathroom, flat above the shower. It was a design deficiency, but she didn't have to stand there and see, so she didn't care. Funny because he said he was going. Okay. Um, so some people can live with old age. My dear friend Eric Sloan was a painter and writer of large note. When he got to 79, like me, he said it was okay. He wrote about 50 books and they were all clever. Like he wrote book about roadside America, sketchbook, roadside America, filled with Model A's, Model T's, water high, and the book Thrill of the Chase, and they're both the same fabric, except they're opposite colors. Opposite colors means the one is negative color of the other one. That you turn this tan color negative, and it comes out light blue. You turn that light blue negative, it comes out tan. It has the sketches in there, just like Forrest Fenn. So when he got to 79, like me, he said it was okay. He wrote about 50 books, and they were all clever. He he always told me he was going to write one more book, title it 80, and then die. I'm going to write one more book, and then I'm going to die. Eric Sloan. Let's force it. I will write one more book, and then I'm going to die. He was funny like that. That was funny. Oh, I don't mean he was funny because he said he was going to die, but funny because he had all of that figured out. He said his habit of never dating his letters or paintings was not a careless oversight, but rather a deep personal superstition that ignoring time itself might be a secret technique to delay aging. He probably thought that up when he was about 15. Yeah, you kind of figured out where you were going when you were a teenager, didn't you? And you kind of continued on that same road all your life. You came up to the crossings and stuff, the forks in the road, and make choices. Different choice every 15 years, right? Later in Who's Who, he said his birthday was 1910 instead of 1905, and hoped his friend would forgive him for that foolish prank. I wish I could have been clever like that. Uh, so there, he just said he lied about his age to his uh, to his ghostwriter or whoever helped him write his book. Um, and so Forrest is, I wish I could be clever like that and tell a little fib and get away with it. Yeah. Um, uh, when he turned 80, he gave himself a surprise birthday. It was he was born 2/27, 1905. So it would have been 1985. He gave himself a surprise birthday party. He was surprised he lived that long. He died 2 weeks later while standing on a street corner in Manhattan, waiting for the light to change. I'll never get over that. Who knows how long he might have lived if he had if he hadn't to wait for the light. Life is like that sometimes, and death is always harsh too. In other words, if he didn't stop for the light and just walked across the street ignoring the light and then lived to be 90, he wouldn't have, Uh, but the other little hidden message in there, if he ignored the light and stepped off the curb, he'd get run over and killed maybe just a little bit sooner. you know, he died 2 weeks later while standing on a street corner in Manhattan waiting for the light to change. I'll never get over that. Who knows how long he might have lived if he hadn't had to wait for the light. Life is like that sometimes, and death always too harsh. Like Eric, it was a rule of thumb anyway. He was philosophical about that. He was married 5 times, and he always said he married housekeepers because when he divorced, they kept the house. But being almost 80 gives me a lot of time to think about regrets and other things. Who would rather have been? Who would you rather have working on your car? Um, what's his name? Duck. Big Whoopie. Big Whoopie. I'd rather have working on my car, but I know how to work on my car. Uh, oh, is it you duck guy in here? Geoduck, 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 or Big Whoopie? I'd one of those two working on my car. In fact, Geoduck has worked on my car. Thank you, Geoduck. Where is everybody? Who's here? 4. So nobody cares about that, huh? 4 people interested in what Eric's about Eric Sloan in Forrest Fenn's beginning of his book here, Thrill of the Chase. Okay. So here he's talking about nickels, and in the preface, that's before life is a game of poker. That's really the first opening part of the writing in the book is the preface. And in the second paragraph, please don't fret too much if some of the things I say don't appeal to you. Instead, keep in mind that the temperament of the country was different in the 1930s. When I was a tyke, and wimpy burgers were a nickel. And if it bothers you to read that I shot meadowlarks so my family could have food at the table, then please don't read further. If it bothers you that he shot meadowlarks, what did he shoot the meadowlarks with? His Red Ryder BB gun from Daisy. And how much did Fred Harmon, the author of Red Ryder, how much did he get for each BB gun with Red Ryder on it was sold? Each BB gun he got a nickel. And he was spending his nickels on Wimpy burgers for a nickel. So, I don't know how probably wouldn't have taken a whole lot of nickels back then to buy that BB gun. It was probably $12, or probably $5. Who knows? The nickel was probably 1%. So yeah, the first chapter he's talking about shooting birds with his BB gun, and then in important literature with the asterisk at the end. It's the only chapter with an asterisk at the end. All the others have a bullet point. So important literature ends with an asterisk. And so the asterisk represents important literature. And then you go to the cover of Once Upon a While. And, that's the back cover. The rest of the books. I need to get, I got a untouched version of The Thrill of the Chase. And I need to get a second edition of Once Upon a While. I only have the first edition that doesn't have Dizzy Dean. Dizzy Dean was added in 2018 because he's number 17 and he's telling 17 when the bullet came home. The final clue is where he parks his car at the that's in the forward. Forward. Doug Preston. And then the final clues, the final chapter is about the bronze wolf. The final clue is where he parks his car at the Museum of Nature and Science, Denver Museum of Nature and Science, which has the bronze wolf sculptures. And this was released 5 months after 5 months after I brought the bullet to Santa Fe. The bullet comes home. I brought it to Santa Fe, and what did he do? It's private eye. Bill, would you like your picture with Forrest? Yeah, sure. Here. Let me use your phone. I'll take a picture with that phone, with your phone. Hand it in my phone. Well, where's Forrest? And I turn around, and he's boom, doffing his hat, doing the hand of God, the offering hand, and he gives his boss hat that he was wearing to Shiloh and tells him, "Get mildew for me." And then there's pictures other people took. I don't know who took the pictures. but there's at least two other people have gotten pictures of me and Forrest toe to toe. He's wearing mildew, and I'm wearing my Panama Jack. And what the in 2019 February 2019. This is before Jack Stu, before him, before the find was announced. He said, "Bill, I need to know your dog's name." His name is Jack. Forrest, just Jack. And who found it? Jack found it. Who is Jack? He's a bronze sniffing dog. I had the bronze sniffing dog video 11 months before Justin Posey brought up a bronze sniffing dog. For all I know, Forrest might have put that thought to write that in his head. Or he got that thought from watching my video of my bronze sniffing dog. Oh, yeah, I got Jack. Well, I found it and I peed on it. You know? Music. The art colony. This is about his art colony in Santa Fe. He had a story about the art colony, Santa Fe art colony, and this story about that. I have one about.
In the heart of Santa Fe, there's a place we used to know, where the artists gathered round and let their colors show. Argos walls would glow with dreams that never end. All the painters and the dreamers, everyone was like a friend. Eli's sketches on the wall, they spoke of endless skies, with etchings so surreal, they take you by surprise. We hung our hearts in frames and watched the world unwind. In the warmth of our friendship, we feel the ties that bind.
Yeah.
Oh, the art colony where souls did intertwine. Brushstrokes telling stories, echoes of our time. Every canvas whispered secrets painted in the night. Under Santa Fe soft stars, we found our own light. Unknown faces brought their tales in shades and hues so bold, turning daydreams into treasures more precious than gold. We were just a vernal rush in a river wild and free. In the merry dance of colors, this was where we'd be. In Argos gallery, we laugh and we create. In the tender glow of twilight, we'd open heaven's gate. Boundless imagination,
Yeah, I gotta watch my battery too.
flowing like a stream.
51 volts, I'm doing good.
Amongst the stars, it felt just like a dream. Oh, the art colony where souls did intertwine. Brushstrokes telling stories, echoes of our time. Every canvas whispered secrets painted in the night. Under Santa Fe soft stars, we found our own light.
Now, the thing, the programs that make the music, they didn't used to. Well, you can submit the lyrics yourself on one of the apps, But the other apps, they give you 200 words to describe your song, and then they rewrite it from your 200 words, you know? And what's been, I guess that can work. You can have them rewrite your 200 words and it makes a song. But then you take those lyrics and you edit those lyrics with how you really want it. You just go manually editing it, adding the words and the phrases that you want, replacing some because some they say buried and if they says if the song says buried treasure, I change it to hidden. You know, because I didn't bury it. It's hidden. He secreted his treasure, secreted it. It's hidden in a secret that it's not out there. It wasn't out there. That was not the treasure we were seeking. You were seeking the vehicle that takes you to the treasure, the one that he was walking back to when he hid it. He was walking back to an old car that had no body. People go, "Oh, you only got a car part." Yeah, it didn't have a body. That's what it says in Rumblings and Ramblings. It says it didn't have a body. And then in the Thrill of the Chase, it says it didn't have a top. Why did he change it? Why did he add the couch sofa cushion to the Thrill of the Chase? Because Ramblings and Rumblings was the draft. So the Buffalo Cowboys originally the back of the car wasn't there. There was a front seat and no hood on it, just the radiator out front and you but it was roadster style. But back then people would take them cars and they cut the back off and they put a truck bed on it and all kinds of stuff. That's how they came up with the trucks. They'd modify it, they put a tow hitch on it, things like that. But the other thing about the car, what did he tie to it? An anchor rope. He tied an anchor rope to the front axle and then bravely went and put it around the horns of the buffalo and got back to the car. And in Ramblings and Rumblings, he sat on the rear axle. He sat on the axle and held on to the frame. There was no sofa cushion. But when he came up with the Thrill of the Chase, he felt that he had to add the sofa cushion. Why did he add the sofa cushion? Because in front of the car were the sofa cushion springs by the creek. And what's too far to walk? Well, they had to go 7 miles to find Cody, and Cody ran off with the front wheels of the car, so they certainly weren't driving back 7 miles. He was barefoot. They got cold and wet, and it was too far to walk 7 miles barefoot. And um, so at the end, the last line of the story in both of them, I didn't realize how much fun it was until later, much later. So it was worth it. It was worth the long, cold walk home. And where was the car? On Rumblings and Ramblings. I wonder if that car is still there. It was, but it wasn't next to, it wasn't, it was up above the creek in the meadow, in the D meadow, because he prayed for D's. And really, there's a lot of D's in the chase if D is for dummies. But yeah, a lot of ignorant D's. Um, That's a good song.
Wise and seen the blaze. Your quest will end in a daze. Look down quick to cease your chase. Marvel in this secret place. Terry scanned with marvel
Marvel
gaze.
gaze.
In shadows where the secret's maze. Find the treasures bold and true. Hidden paths for just you knew. Marvel in this secret place. Terry scanned with marvel gaze. In shadows where the secret's maze. Find the treasures bold and true. Hidden paths for just you knew.
Yeah, that's a cool song.
The riches old and new, only for the chosen.
Boom, it was over. It was over. I started talking. I tried not to, so you can listen to the words. A lot of people, they think it's just background music. No, no. You need to listen to the words. And you not only need to listen to the words, like the words in the poem and stuff, you need to be able to comprehend. You need to be able to make associations. Okay, these words represent places, ideas, things, events, um, stuff like that. Um, why is the car the blaze? Because, what's your guess? Why is the car the blaze? Hey, John, is that neighbor John? Lives in the old Anderson house. Yeah, yeah, we had another Anderson in the chase, Barbara Anderson, who wanted to sue everybody and wanted to marry me at one point, but I wasn't interested in a lawyer who sues 90-year-old men who hid treasures, Um, I get another cup of coffee here sometime. I got my volcano going here with my aromatherapy and stuff. And puppies, there's no puppies fighting anymore. I only got one left. Where is she? Tippy, where are you, Tippy? Come here, Tippy. Tippy, Tippy. Come here, little girl. Hi, Jack. Jack just walked by. You come here, Jack. Come here, big boy. Come here, big boy. Old dog. You gonna come here? Hi, Jill. You bring Tippy in? Where's Tippy? Tippy's, what, 10 weeks, 10 and a half weeks now? Um, puppy born November 8th. All the others gone. She's the only one left. Looks like her daddy is I found out the father dog. See, the mother's a mini Australian cattle dog or Australian shepherd, but the father was a Laponian herder, also known as a lap reindeer dog. Is a reindeer herder. So I have Australian reindeer shepherds. Oh, that's funny. Australian reindeer shepherds. They got the North Pole and the South Pole mixed together. Yeah, John. I talked to Jim the other day, Wednesday, when I was coming back from Denver. He was waiting to meet his son out there at the highway, and apparently his son lives the same place my son does. That's weird. Neighbors and here, and our sons both live in the same town, but it is the nearest good sized city. And it's still a small town, really. Pueblo's a small town. Yeah, my son lives in a Pueblo. My son lives in a Pueblo, and I live in Casablanca without the casa. A Pueblo's a home, right? And a casa is a home. So the Casablanca, no, this is just Blanca. There's no cat. You don't get no casa in Blanca. You gotta live in your RV. It's about time to turn the heater on. It's 66 in here and 27 outside. It was -1 or -2 this morning, and it got to 46 degrees today. Wow. That's not bad. We had a high, it was below zero last night, and it was 46 in the daytime. Usually, it doesn't get over the 30s in the daytime here until March. So that's 46 in the day here is very warm for January. It lets me turn the heater off in the, turn it off in the morning and turn it back on. It's almost 6. Oh man, you really feel that where that rod goes into your femur. I know I've told some people, oh yeah, I've got one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, but there are people that don't know what you're talking about. When you get that, you ever get a hip replacement, that you expect that to hurt for 6 weeks. That thing's gonna hurt. And they only give you pain pills for the first week. And after that, you're on Tylenol or aspirin or Motrin or you know. But I got a CAT scan and I got the images. I got to find either the power supply for my old computer or I got to find the CD drive that'll plug into my USB on my new computer. And I got that one up there. All I got to do is plug in 12 volts to it and a data cable to the USB for this. After I get rid of this, they get rid of no, after I give away the last puppy, I don't right. I really like her. Where you at, Tippy? Tippy, come here, baby. Come here, baby girl. Where are you, Tippy? I think they're all outside. Yeah, I think they all went back outside. When sun comes, they like to be outside when the sun's out. And it was a very sunny day today. Battery's still over 51 volts. That's really good. And actually, I can make it last even twice as long by just unplugging my computer and not power the computer with the battery. Because I got my lights well, they're LED lights, but it's 120 volt. They're all on a 120 volt system, except for the ceiling lights. Those are on a 12 volt system. I got to switch for that here. There, I can get light on that side of my head. There, boom, more lighting. And what's this thing here? Oh, that's my. This is the thing. It's like I got a plastic thing, so I can slide my socks on it and set it on the floor, and I can just stuff my foot in there with it without pulling the sock over the toes and stuff. It puts the sock onto your toes, and then those two straps, you pull them off you pull the plastic, and it pulls your sock onto your leg. Because I can't I can't get my knee higher than my hip sitting down, or I can't have it more than 90 degree within. I can't have it within 90 degrees of straight up. Of I can't lift it 90 degrees. I can't. My pelvis to the that femur has to be at least 90 degrees. I can't bring them to get you know. I can't bring my knee up to my chest like my left knee, because that will dislocate the ball in the socket. And it's really the ball that's in the socket is ceramic. The socket is plastic, because the ceramic will slide on the plastic. So it's like you got a pool table ball in your hip, you know? And then it screws on. It's like a gear shift ball. It screws onto the rod that goes in your femur, and it's an L shape or seven looking with, and it's a square spike that goes down into your femur, way down in there. Oh, you know, um, I think they need something on it that at the bottom where it goes in, that it just little like grid fins that unfold and lock the bottom into your femur also, on the inside of your, so like a like a like a warhead comes out of the tube, and then the fins come out, once it's deployed in there, then and that locks it into the bone lower down too, because just drilling a hole through everything, and that was not going to work. That try and lock it in with like a set screw or something on the bottom end. That not going to work, because you'd be drilling through your meat and your titanium. I don't know if you can drill through titanium too easily. I think the drill bits are made of titanium, aren't they? It's very hard metal, and brittle when it's cold. Um, I think Terminator 2 was kind of like when he shattered when he was frozen. Yeah, I think titanium would do that. But we when I made vacuum furnaces, some of the panels inside the vacuum furnaces were titanium. And you don't know what a vacuum furnace is? That's what they test uh, space shuttle tiles with, and space reentry tiles like Elon has on the Starship. It's a chamber that it's like a big crock pot. It's a giant crock pot, and it has a water filled jacket around the inside vessel, because the thing gets, so they heat it up hot as the sun inside there. And they got to pump water through the container to keep the skin of it cooled, to keep the metal from melting and all that of the furnace, because they make it like they replicate the plasma of reentry in them. And then the pieces inside the furnace that surround whatever you're testing inside it are graphite. And to look inside it, you got to look through this little smoke glass hole, and it's smoke glass because it's like looking at the sun. It it's not on fire, but it's so hot that it's glowing like the sun in there, man. It's very hot. So yeah, we made these vacuum furnaces and all. And what were they doing when I was working there? They had Chinese customers coming to see how we do everything. Oh yeah, now they make them in China. They're out of business, I bet. Yeah, you hear the puppy. Come here, girl. Come here, you little fatty. Where's your little puppy? Where is she? You come here. You come here. You come here. Yes. Oh, there she is. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. She wants to pierce my ears. Yeah. Your mommy. They don't look alike at all. This is what a Laponian reindeer herder looks like. So she's Laponian reindeer herder and Australian shepherd. What a great combination. An Australian reindeer dog. She's not an Australian cattle dog, are you, huh? No, I'm an Australian reindeer dog. I'm a lap there. I'm a reindeer dog. I'm a reindeer dog. Her name's Tippy because of her tail. That's why I called her Tippy. Oh, she's a sweet little. Oh, and she is so soft and fuzzy. You are soft and fuzzy, Tippy. Yeah. She's like a little teddy bear, aren't you? Aren't you like a little teddy bear? Thank you. They come out real healthy. Still just John, Digger. I don't know who else is here. These people don't like puppies, huh? Oh, they don't like puppies. Hmm. You, where's Dracula? She looks. She's looking for Dracula now. Yeah, Dracula found a new home yesterday. Yeah, there's a. I actually found a home for Dracula by stopping at Taco Bell on the way home, and I got 3 soft tacos. And the girl at the drive-up window saw the puppies. Oh, how cute! How cute! I said, "You want one? You can have one." And she had a friend that was wanting a dog, and she gave her a call. And when I got home, I had a message that she wanted Dracula because the girl at the drive-up took pictures of him. And look, she's got this is funny. I got a T for Texas. I got a T for Tennessee. I got a T for Texas. I got a T for Tennessee. So if you're in Texas, there's your Texas dog right there. Look at that big old capital T. And she's got the under her chin the tan collar. She got the tan feet. Dracula had gray feet. She has tan feet. Dracula had gray colors instead of the tan. She got the blue merle gray, and her tail curls up. It'll be like this. She's a sweetheart. Um, what else going on? Oop, oop, it's over here. I need to tune it. I ain't tuned it for a while. Put a new battery in the tuner. I gotta get the amp out. Keep it plugged in somewhere so I can just play with it whenever. Um, yeah, these are ew, at the end of the line. At the end of the line is the asterisk. The important literature is all in this book. I'll just be an asterisk. Where would he be an asterisk? An asterisk in a book. So he told you. And why couldn't Jack Stoof tell you that, huh? That wouldn't tell you where it was. So now I sit here past midnight beside my juniper fire, reflecting back to the year when my awareness took its first step. Oh, but that's where's the asterisk part of the there? I'll just read the whole page. Not a day passes that I don't question myself about what lies ahead and whether or not I can make it happen like it's supposed to be. And it like it's supposed to be is like he had it in his ramblings and rumblings. I want to die alone. I don't want anybody to see me or watch me. You know, he's going to pick his own time and place, and he did exactly that. Now, near the end of my 79th year, each day tests me in a different way, and I know that before too long, I'll make my last flight to where even memory itself will have never been. His last flight. Where's his last flight? Up the stairway to heaven. Sooner or later, each of us will be nothing but the leftovers of history or an asterisk in a book that was never written. Seven years later, he had the opportunity to write the book and put the asterisk in it. It was written. So now I sit here past midnight beside my juniper fire, reflecting back to the year when my awareness took its first few steps. Oh. And then there's the big asterisk. And then all the other chapters end with a square bullet point that you find in spread, PowerPoints, spreadsheets. But you can hear that. I'm going to try and stand up and turn these speakers on. That's the painful part, standing up. Oh, that was okay. Now you know what kind of speakers I got. Mine's switching to Bluetooth. You should still be hearing it. My computer turned the audio down. Or what? Santa Fe. Oh, there's the asterisk song. Get the heater going. We can add a 63 in here. Stories of the young and old. Once Upon the Nile. That's a book too. Bird. I turned the heater on and then it just got like 10 degrees colder all it feels, because my face can feel the heat, but my legs are cold.
in spite. Now faded thoughts and soft moonlight. The critics come,
Cosmic
the
Crusader.
critics go, but dreams in Santa Fe
Um,
still grow.
it would have you've seen even
Nostalgia in Deseret. Old memories we all must bear. The Santa Fe stories
the whole world is waking up
to soften
and rejecting Marxism. Uh, I just watched a video on, let's see, what was it? Millet and Trump leave WEF speechless. So it was Javier Millet of Argentina, and they have it in, dubbed in English, so you can understand him. And Donald Trump, just how long ago? When was this put up? I gotta mute it. Oh, it already is. Yesterday, with the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum praising them too. Like it's going along with them. And Trump, Saudi Arabia offered $750 billion, and Trump said, why don't you make it $1 trillion? And because and we're going to have all the oil we need. Look, I bought gas in Pueblo yesterday for $2.79. $2.79 a gallon in Pueblo yesterday. And then it's still 309 here. Once the price of gas levels out, it's less here than Pueblo. It's weird. But the prices come down up in Denver first, and it comes, spreads out to these other areas. Guys, back here. Who's here? Oh, chat. Oh, just John. I think that's John the Bomb. BOMB. No. And I don't have to drive to Pueblo to get my. I get it local here now. It's well, it's not really. It's about 15 miles to the store here, and it's about the same price, about $10 for a gram of honey or wax or whatever. It's the same thing, but they call it honey. They call it wax, and I got these ones that have 3 in it. 3 different. It comes with 3 grams, $30, and has 3 different flavors in there. And to ID the flavors, see there's a green, that flavor with the blue dot, the flavor with the green dot, and the flavor with the red dot. So you open it up, and there's 3 different flavors in there, a gram of each. But this one, the lighter color one, is like a powder. It's weird THC powder like, but when you put it on the warmer, it just melts into it. But I bought those uh, when I went in for surgery. Before I went in for surgery, I got those, and I got two of them, and I'm still, you know, $60. It'll last over a month. People that drink beer, you drinking a 12 pack a day. Yeah, what's that total up to for the month? This habit costs a little less. It feels a lot better. Oh yeah, I should show you something else too, huh? Uh-huh. Look at this. Yeah. See them muscles? No, but I was leaving physical therapy and they had one of the old scales, with the bars and the weights. And before I left physical therapy, I even had my phone in my hand, wore shoes and dressed, stepped on it, because your phone's maybe a pound and you probably have 2 pounds of clothes on, you know. So I stood on the scale and it's already on 200, but it's way too far over on this lower adjustment. And I put it at last time I got away, it was 216. That was before surgery. I was 216, and so I got to 216, and it was still pushing up the top, or and when I got to 209, then it flattened out. So yeah, down to 209. That's really, I ain't weighed that since I was in my 20s, you know, and I think it shows in the face too. I don't know. And then you clear it. It's like kind of like a bong, but there's no tar because you don't burn it. Nose runny. Runny nose. Yeah, I've been cleaning up under my desk. They gave me this at the hospital, but look what the dog did to it. Chewed up the tip of it and chewed off most. This had a big old trigger on it. Now it just has a little stub trigger, but it still works. So I've been picking up stuff, and some of my rocks have spilled on the foot. Pick up the rocks, and I put them over in the bucket of rocks, and pick up the trash, put it in the bucket of trash, and pick up. Using my grabber. This you can grab. I grab coins off the floor with this. It's amazing. And that's pretty tech because these are like it's like got like rubber fingertips, you know. So you can pick up whatever you can pick up with your hand. Oh, yeah, and I got to burn my trash too. But I got walking out to my burn barrels a little bit further to walk. So and it's just dirt here, but we got to do it when the wind is down. Wind's 6 miles an hour now, but I only burn trash if it's less than 5 miles an hour. That's like walking. That's like gentle breeze. And well, it's got a new battery charger. So well, the best battery charger I could find to charge my 48-volt batteries was a golf cart battery charger, 18 amp golf cart battery charger. But when it tries to give that 18 amps, that's like 700 watts, you know? And I got this 1500-watt freaking generator. And when it tries to pull that 700 watts, it kills the generator. The generator, you know, and so it might be because of the thin air here at 7,650 feet. And so I ordered the generator has a USB power port on it. And so I got a USB powered uh, fan, a 3-speed fan that I can put onto the air cleaner box of the generator and supercharge the generator. Yeah, it's getting better. It's been yesterday was 1 month, and I'm goodness, I haven't caught a live bill going in ages. Oh yeah, yeah. Look here, look here, Benjamin. Important literature. At the end of the line is the asterisk. The asterisk, it signifies important literature. It said last thing in important literature is the asterisk. And he had the time, he lived long enough to write that last book with the asterisk. The important literature. Doug Preston in the foreword says the final clue is where he parks his car at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Well, he's Purple Heart disabled veteran, so he parks in the handicap, which has the bronze wolves with the sign that says "Caution, wolves may be hot." And they put 2 new signs out there for it, about the bronze wolves. So in 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 the forward before the preface, Doug says it's where he parks his car. The final chapter of the first book was the bronze wolf. Where he parks his car at the museum is a pack of wolves. Chase. I think they're supposed to be chasing a rabbit. I told the director you need to put the rabbit out in front of them running. I need a running rabbit sculpture to put out there in front of the. But take this. In 1995, I hired a woman named Valerie Gates to do the art for my CD repair kit box. The plaque for the wolves was donated by the Gates Family Foundation. And Valerie Gates, her name is on the plaque. The artist that I hired in 95. I'm like, holy smokes, I know her. But I got a phone call from the curator yesterday. I got a call from the curator, George Sparks. I could go over to the cabinet, probably pull out my yearbook and show you a picture of me and a guy named George Sparks. 1975 yearbook, my junior yearbook. I don't have my senior one. I went to move one time and it it was in a place where it just got moldy as fuck and I threw it away. Yeah, it cost a fortune to get a replacement for it. There was hardly anything in it because that year, my senior year, our yearbooks came a month after school was out. So we weren't there to get them signed and all that stuff. So it wasn't a big deal. But I had the thing underneath my senior picture. Underneath my senior picture says "Swimmers go deeper." But me and George Sparks, we both swam 500 freestyle. Gene Kendall would always come in first, and either me or George would come in second. Most every time against our whole league, we got first, second, and third. uh, and when I went to finals, what I paced. We were swimming against Washington High School, and and um, I was Gene Kendall was in the middle lane, 3 or 4. There's 6 lanes. He's in he was in 4. I was in 2, and Mark Snow was in lane 3. And so he is pacing Gene Kendall. He doesn't know I'm pacing him too. And I snuffed him out at the end of the race. I beat him. Because he didn't see, I was on his other side. He's swimming there watching Gene to his right. He doesn't see me to his left, passing him. So Gene took first, and I took second, and Snow took third. Um, we had we were like Mission San Jose High School was in our district and all that. We were Irvingstone. Oh yeah, and Ben. So where I parked my car are Bronze Wolves, the final chapter. What's before the final chapter? This came out in November, right? The final chapter before the Price of Freedom is The Bullet Comes Home. When I brought it to Santa Fe in 2017. And he did the hat doffing, and then there's pictures of me wearing my Panama Jack hat and Forrest wearing mildew. I'm never gonna wear that hat, but this guy outsmarted me. And then me in the middle, who's in the middle? Where is he? Somewhere in the middle here. It's after that, I think. Look at that. That's a buffalo. No, I'm not in the middle. I'm beyond the middle. Oh. And the things I covet. This was on one of the rock formations, uh, right next to Treasure Falls. But okay, so it goes from things I covet, Where is it? It's got a bit. There it is. Things I covet, and it was art by this guy. But a lot of there's Rockwell's on the canyon wall. And so things I covet. And what's the first chapter after things I covet? Well, here's Moses. And what does it say on where here's Moses? What does he say there? Moses was an important figure in the Bible. He's wondering how many babies there are today named Moses. If he had a boy, he might name him Moses, right? But the important part is Moses was an important figure in a book about important literature. And who else is in here? Quanah Parker, right? Stuff about Quanah Parker and Prince of the Comanches. What what was Quanah Parker also known as? Or what production was Quanah Parker the star of? Moses on the Mesa. Huh? Okay, Quanah Parker, his mother Cynthia Ann Parker, and all that, they're tied to Lonesome Dove. Okay, where's the dove in the book? He's sitting in the moon with the lumberjack there, looking up at him. Here they had the Lonesome Dove, RVs, and RV resort and cabins. They had 4 cabins. You know what was right next to it? What's right next to it? Moon Valley, RV resort and cabins. They have 4 cabins. You have double, double mint gum. Double your pleasure, double your fun with double mint gum. Okay? So the Prince of the Comanches, but they called these, in Sitting Bull, like they were like Moses. They were the saviors. The Quanda chief on the black pony, Quanah Parker. His mother, Cynthia Ann Parker, was. I mean, it's all tied to the guy that made the first chuck wagon, and that refers that's like the wagon. It's basically the ore cart that's converted to be a fucking what do they call it? The truck where the food, the what do they call it? I haven't been to one for so long. I forget what they're called. The food truck, basically. The chuck wagon was the food truck. Oh, oh. Yeah, but you didn't find the sofa cushion springs in front of the car. And in the wood, the meadows are the words WOOD. And where is the wood? The wood is at Tired and Weak, which is Tucker or Tucker Ponds. You rotate so that west is at the top of the map, and the word wood, as I have passed this Pass Creek, okay, and where's Pass Creek? It's in the canyon, South Fork Canyon. That's a canyon down. The South Canyon, the South Fork Canyon is the canyon down. He was taking it with him. So you don't see Moses until you go past the light at the end of the tunnel. And then Columbine Campground is a Columbine interpretive. What is a Columbine interpretive? It's a Rosetta Stone is an interpretive, isn't it? About a rose. Here's a Rosetta Stone about the Columbine in Colorado. Colorado's no place for the meek. He knew that. The Coloradans know the dangers of the mountains. And how many of them died in Colorado? Um, well, at least one. The guys on the snowmobile, they came out of Colorado into Utah. Uh, just so this book is the book of answers. It's the end of the line. The end of the line is the asterisk. The asterisk. Type an asterisk on your keyboard on your computer screen. It'll show you a star. Where'd it go? The thrill of the chase is the negative color Oh, I got the wrong one flipped over. The Thrill of Chase, the negative color of Eric Sloan's sketchbook of Roadside America. Sloan. And what's in there? Oh, where my father, what's parks in his father's parking space? What parks in his parking space? His car. The car. Where warm water halts. And water. Water's high. See, he's going through a puddle. Sometimes the water's welcome, sometimes it's not. Because you get stuck in the middle of that puddle or you drown your car. So if the water's high, you park your car and you walk across to see how deep it is. You know, roll your pants up, take your shoes off. You know, your feet will dry out and stuff, and you can put your socks and shoes back on. But if the water's high, get out and walk across. What did Eric Sloan call them women? What did Eric Sloan? We talk about biddies. He had Eric Sloan wrote a poem about where the fig leaf should have been. And they grinned and they grinned. Yeah, there it is. There it is. 13,000 people came to see my pictures, eager as the honeybee for the flowers. Oh, 13,000 people came to see my pictures, as the honeybee for the flowers. I'll tell you what, all my eyes saw the same old spot in every picture every time and gazed and gloated without rhyme or reason where the leaf should be. The fig leaf that was not, woe is me. And they blushed and they fumed in fury. They sneered and they said, oh boy, I tell you what, look at that one there. That's pretty hot. What does it say in front of the wolves? Caution, wolf sculptures may be hot. Okay. And they stared, the half witted lot. That there ties to the wolves in front of the freaking museum. Caution, wolf sculptures may be hot. And where was the car? It wasn't under a canopy of trees. No, it was out in the middle of the meadow under the canopy of stars. And in the daytime, it was under the blazing sun. The metal might be hot if it's out in the sun. The bronze wolves are hot if they're in the sun. Children, touch this statue in my gallery. Tell me, is it hotter or cooler than you expected? Who was hot? I was hot. Why was K Pro? Why was K Pro? Oh, K Pro, the story that who was it read the story, the last story of Forrest Fenn about Koski going up and down, stirring up dust. How do you spell Koski? K ski. K ski. How do you spell K Pro? K Pro. K ski was a code word for K Pro was out there stirring up dust. And what do you do to piss off K Pro? You put the hose on the hot car. The car was hot. Ralph Lauren. What do you mean I can't take? Well, you can't take your cars with you either then. The cars and he couldn't cross the street. The biddies, he couldn't cross the street. He'd get run over by a car. If Eric Sloan stepped off the curb, ignored the light, and stepped off the curb, he could have died 2 minutes earlier by getting run over by a car. If it all is synchronicity, man, synchronicity. If you ain't with the synchronicity, you must be a wild beast. Yeah, I found a battle. Yeah, yeah, but did it have a bullet hole that resembled the bullet hole in mildew? And even when he talks about mildew, he talks about mildew, and he can't. It, he doesn't have a reason for that hole in the hat, and he knows damn well why that hole's in the hat. And he starts out the thrill of the chase. If it bothers you that I hunted birds for to eat for dinner, or, if that bothers you, then maybe you shouldn't read the rest of the book. And he got wimpy burgers for a nickel, and then about the birds, like in the same paragraph, almost the same sentence, I think. And and how much did Fred Harmon, who wrote Red Ryder, get for each of those BB guns that he sold? A nickel. So all those, you know, he gave Fred Harmon the same as he paid for a Wimpy Burger, basically. But there's the nickel. They put a nickel under her grave. The nickel was about all the nickels that Fred Harmon collected for the Red Ryder BB guns. And where's Red Ryder and Little Beaver? In Wolf Canyon. No place for the meek. What's in Wolf Canyon? Treasure Falls, the home of David Brown, who's descended from David Brown, where the shot heard around the world April 19th, 1775, 200 years ago this year, fired the heavy loads at the British, the 75 caliber. You know how big a 75 caliber is. I got a couple of them, some of them right here somewhere. But I got my brass lugs. I mean, my copper terminal connectors for all this off grid power. Um, Captain David Brown. David Brown owned Bootjack Ranch right there at Treasure Falls. Treasure, Colorado, a hint of riches, new and old. If treasure isn't a hint of riches, new and old, then you're lost, and where nobody would expect. But you put in below the home of Brown. So this is on the other side of the Continental Divide. You got to remember, Forrest was over the hill. You got to get over the hill first. Because the canyon you put in below the home of Brown. This is where you put in your imagination and your effort. You start here with the home of Brown, and you take it to the canyon. You take your effort to the canyon down, but there'll be no paddle up your creek. So if you're below the home of Brown, you think you're already down, and you got to go in the canyon down. Don't forget, you got to get up that creek first. There's not going to be any paddle first. You got to get over the mountain to get to the canyon down. And what do you go up? You go up Wolf Creek that goes to Wolf Creek Pass, where there are heavy loads, quad chairs with 400 horsepower quad chair, wrenching 100 tons of people up at a time up the mountain. That's a heavy load. And, and the water high, he wanted Canada on the map as Alberta Park Reservoir. Alberta means noble and bright. That's a blaze. Below the blaze, you take the creek from there, Alberta Creek from Alberta Park Reservoir downstream. What does as I pass this vale? You come upon Pass Creek. It merges with Pass Creek in the W of the meadows that spell the word wood. And that's where Skippy's gearbox contraption with all the metal strewn about is. And the gearbox contraption is a gearbox off of the tow truck. It's just the gearbox. It's a triangle shaped thing with big gears in it. And there's metal strewn all over the place. The metal panels off this truck are just laying around the place. And there's a big there's a rail like from a tractor trailer, a big aluminum rail that's like 30 feet long, you know. And I want to go up there with my little with my angle grinder and cut that into uh, certain size pieces that I can carry out of there to use to make a. I want to make my own little electric vehicle. I already got the 48-volt battery, and so I could go driving around with my electric, charge it with the same solar I have and all that. Even have solar on it and run off the sun, and when I get home, I just plug my power into, and that's my battery, my power for here that I'm using now. That's down to 50.7 volts. I've been going an hour or so on it, 51.1. So it got a good charge today. And I got this other 12-volt lithium battery charge. Oh, fuck, that's heavy. This one. Oh, that's a LiPo 4 12-volt 100 amp hour. Oh, oh. And mostly I use that to run my fan. I got a fan up at the ceiling above the heater. So the heat goes up and the fan blows the heat back into the bedroom. You can almost see the fan there. There's the fan right up there. That gray box. Right there. And that's Barbara Anderson's ass on that picture. She thought that was her ass on that picture. It's some ancient art that was underground. And when they put the highway in, the dirt sloshed off and exposed the rock with that art on it. It's badass. So there, the Eric Sloane's song. Oh damn, I missed that too. Did I get half-witted lot in here? Fool's Gold, Gold Shield, New Age. I wish I could tell to sort them alphabetically. Because I got so many songs in here. Snippy's Mystery. That was the first uh, cattle mutilation was a horse. Old man Jeff, he ate that cat. Uh, um, did I get the half-witted lot in here? No, because I got the Eric Sloane song, the song of Eric Sloane's poem. I had to make music of it. Um, you got to download it, upload it. Oh, they're in alphabetical order. Good. There. Those will upload. Those are funny songs. Because Eric Sloane wrote this song. It's in. It's on one of the last pages of Return to Taos. See, he has the poem in the back of the book too. So you see, he talks about the half-witted lot. It's an Eric Sloane book. Winfield Funk Incorporated. Return to Taos. Sloane. With the hoop dance. When I went down there that one day, that somebody that street was saying the street posted the picture of Barbara's pool and stuff, and because I was in street posted that because he knew I was in Santa Fe and she blamed me for it. Well, it was just a picture that was from her apartment's website. It was a picture on her apartment's website that street just copied off the internet. He didn't go there. Um, so we'll play The Half-Witted Lot by Eric Sloan.
13,000 people came to see my pictures, eager as the honeybee for the flowers. I'll tell you what, all I sought, the same old spot in every picture, every time, and gazed and gloated without rhyme
Marble
or
gaze.
reason where the leaf should be.
Where the leaf should be?
That was not, woe is me. And they blushed and they fumed in fury. They sneered and said, oh boy, I tell you what, look at that one there, that's pretty hot.
Pretty hot.
And they stared and they stared, the half-witted lot. They blushed and they fumed in fury. They sneered and said, oh boy, I tell you what, look at that one there, that's pretty hot. And they stared, the half-witted lot. They stared and they stared, the half-witted lot. And they stared, the half-witted lot. And they stared, the half-witted lot.
Ha 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 ha. I got another version of it too.
13,000 people came to see my pictures, eager as the honeybee for the flowers. I'll tell you what, all I saw, the same old spot in every picture. Every time they gazed and gloated without rhyme or reason where the leaf should be. The fig leaf that was not, woe is me. And they blushed and they fumed in fury. They sneered and said, oh boy, I tell you what, look at that one there, that's pretty hot. And they stared and then they stared, the half-witted lot.
That's pretty hot.
2,000 people came to see my pictures, eager as the honeybee for the flowers. I'll tell you what, all I sought, the same old spot in every picture. Every time and gazed and gloated without rhyme or reason where the leaf should be. The fig leaf that was not, woe is me. And they blushed and they fumed in fury. They sneered and said, oh boy, I tell you what, look at that one there, that's pretty hot. And they stared and then they stared, the half-witted lot. And they stared and they stared.
This is where he parks at the museum. So, you know, he parks there at the museum in front of the bronze wolf that says they're hot. Then the finale, he puts the hose on the car because it's hot. The car was out in the blazing sun because it was hot. Go back to chat here now. While I'm doing those things, I can't read the chat, but the chat hasn't changed. I don't know if Ben's learning something or if he's streaming taking viewers away. We'll have to see if he is. I don't know. Quick link. All the search is done. Yeah. Oh, I see. Dave Olson decides he's going to stream over me. Okay. My sister was married to a David Olson, but I'll go. So Ben wasn't even probably paying attention. He's over there watching David Olson, I'll bet you. But I'll go away. I went on earlier in the afternoon, you know, and I'm sure he was aware I was on here. He's full of shit if he isn't. If he didn't check to see if somebody else was. He didn't care if Mario streams and he doesn't go over Mario, but he's happy to go over my stream. But I'll let y'all go. Just shows you, there are some people that are just rude. I'll find my exit. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, there's nobody there. It doesn't give me a tone or something. It should say across the screen, waiting. If somebody was, but it looks like nobody's been there, so I'll let y'all go. I got the best information. You're watching David Olson. How can you watch David Olson when your head's in your butt? Those are the people watching him. So he broadcasts. All comes out his butt. It's all a bunch of nonsense. Oh, that's me over there. Okay. We'll catch you later. I'll end it. I've been on how long? I don't know. I don't know. It should have a, but I'm done. See ya. Anybody want? Let me know if you want Tippy. She's here in southern Colorado, not far from Alamosa.